Welcome to Germantown High School. As you can see, many forms of life strive in this very environment. Throughout our podcast, we will help you to determine many species, interactions, and also some of the impacts that humans have on the local environment.
Let's start off by taking a look at the moss species. As you can see in these various photos, moss are otherwise scientifically called Bryophyta, carpet woodland or forest areas, and are usually found in moist, shady locations. Their preference for moist areas most likely evolved from a species of algae that lived in sea and freshwater areas. Mosses help the ecological community by breaking down substrata and therefore releasing nutrients and organic molecules into the soil for the use of more complex plants in the future. One major adaptation that moss have is that the cells have special storage areas for water and nutrients. After fertilization, they develop sporophytes with unbranched stalks topped with single capsules containing spores. Mosses do not grow very large, but they have simple structures that function like roots, stems, and leaves. Having small structures helps to increase the chance for survival among moss species. Mosses existed as early as the Permian period, and more than 100 species have been identified from fossils of the Paleogene and Neogene periods.
Next, let's look at the invasive species garlic mustard. Garlic mustard, or Alaria petiolata, is a cool season shade-tolerant plant that invades the forested communities in Wisconsin and other areas. This invasive species was brought to the Americas during the Cumberland Exchange. Garlic mustard plants have triangular to heart-shaped leaves that give off an odor of garlic when crushed. Clusters of white flowers developed into erect, slender pods by May, as you can see in these many photos. One of its unique adaptations is that it has allelopathic compounds that inhibit seed germination of other species, therefore eliminating competition among other species. Also, garlic mustard quickly forms monocultures by monopolizing resources and therefore decreasing the survival of other species. Another advantage is that white-tailed deer find garlic mustard distasteful, which furthers its expansion by eliminating native competition and also exposing the soil through trampling.
Now, let's observe one of the many relationships between two species. The dandelion, scientifically known as Taraxacum, interacts with the honeybee. The honeybee gains a food source by obtaining pollen from the dandelion, and the dandelions do not gain or lose anything. This process is known as commensalism, where one species is benefited and the other is not affected. Dandelions grow in a funnel shape so that any water that falls rolls down to the plant's center towards the root exactly where it is needed. The seeds, which have a helicopter-like build, fly from the plant in every direction. For example, a dandelion hit with a gust of wind can start 200 or more new plants. Also, the dandelion is native to Asia. Over the centuries of trade, the dandelion spread from Asia to Europe and from Europe to all points by way of the colonials.
Finally, let's look at the impacts humans have on the environment. Litter can cause harm to people and animals and damage our waterways. Also, litter is a threat to public health. It attracts vermin and is a breeding ground for bacteria. For instance, items such as broken glass, syringes, and fragments of water bottles can be a health hazard in public places, to both animals and humans. Animals may mistake small pieces of litter for food and attempt to eat them, leading to choking hazards in the environment. Overall, littering is human-caused and can be stopped if the community works together as a team to clean up trash. Research has shown that litter is a result of an individual's decision to be careless with waste. Once litter is on the ground, it attracts more litter. Therefore, a clean community itself would discourage littering. In conclusion, there is a vast variety of species and biological interactions that take place here and call Germantown High School their home. Without these interactions and abundance of wildlife, the ecosystem here at the school would not be the same.